Hi Scorpio, welcome to your April 2023 Astrology Horoscope forecast. It's yet another big month. We have a solar eclipse and then we're going to be closing the month with Mercury, which is retrograde. I'm going to be associating the slow moving planets with different houses of your relationship, love, children and money. So please ensure that you watch the video till the end. On the 4th, we have Mercury, which is going to be moving into your house of marriage. This is also the house of your business partnership. And then we're going to be having Uranus and Venus that are going to be joining this house towards the end of the month. Now, Mercury is going to be making you look at all the pro and con situation as far as your marriage is concerned. And you're going to be taking into account everybody's needs as well as your own. Also, there can be some amount of indecisiveness during this time, Scorpios, and you are naturally going to be entertaining opposing viewpoints as well during this time. You have a strong desire to cooperate and communicate with others, and you're also going to be feeling quite comfortable spending time with people on a one-on-one level or with those with whom you share a personal history. Scorpios, during this Mercury phase, you're going to be doing a pro and a con exercise as far as your relationship is concerned. You could feel almost a sense of indecisiveness, and also for some of you it could be because you are also entertaining the opposing viewpoints. There could also be a strong desire to cooperate with others on the account of ignoring yourself. So you are being reminded, with Mercury being over here, to be able to speak your truth, to be able to be more vocal. You could also feel quite comfortable spending one-on-one time with people at your own level, and transparency is something that you're going to be desiring a lot as far as communication is concerned. Your own thoughts are going to become quite clear through dialogue with others, and also for a lot of you, maybe there is a lot of writing work that you're doing at work, but otherwise on a personal front, it's a good time to be journaling. It's a good time to be crystallizing your thoughts as well. It's also a fabulous time to be seeking any counseling during this time. There is going to be a lot of emphasis on communication with partners, and there is a lot of emphasis on communication with partners and with closest friends during this time. You could also use the power of words to advise others or to make peace with people in your life during this time. You could be playing quite the diplomat, Scorpios, during this phase and also during this transit. On the 5th, we have a full moon that is there in your house of behind the scenes. This is the house of skeletons. This is family skeletons, and this is also the house where we become undone on our own. And full moon is normally a very emotional time. It is a time where things are coming to fruition, something is ending, something is finishing. So you could be feeling quite vulnerable, you could be feeling quite emotional. And because this governs your deep psyche, it can be that you're thinking about your own emotional patterns. You're looking at maybe generationally what has got transferred. You could be looking at your parents' partners, patterns. You could be looking at your grandparents' patterns. And for a lot of you, you could be quite interested in the family tree during this time. It's worth your while to be practicing some meditation during this time, Scorpio. Time to be taking those long walks, good time to be journaling, good time to be seeking out maybe advice from a mentor, from a guide, and also to be looking at your own emotional history, Scorpio. The 12th, we have Venus that is going to be moving into your house of joint finances, resources, sexuality and intimacy. And Venus is quite happy being over there. So good time to be looking at your taxes, good time to be looking at your EMIs, maybe seeking a second opinion as far as your finances or investments are concerned. Venus is also going to be making you look at your own pattern of power struggle in intimate or with your partner. So this is a time where you need to be seeing as to, how often do you say that, oh, this is what I bring on the table, or this is what I have done, and what is it that I'm getting in return? Or it could be that, you are in a space where you feel that you are the one who's making all the sacrifices and you haven't got in return as much as that you had expected. So this house of this complete tug of war between the emotional power struggle that is there with your partner is also a house of transformation. So, a fabulous time to be dealing with these issues, whether who brings what on the table, or also to be experiencing emotional roller coasters within a relationship. Now, Venus is going to be helping you sort out these things gently. It's a time to be unraveling all of these painful patterns, looking at them and seeing as to how it is that you can heal from them. On the 20th, we have a solar eclipse that is there in your house of day-to-day chores. This is also the house of your work and health. And this is a time that you're going to be quite focused upon your physical fitness and your mental stability. And it's a good time to be trying out a new diet or a health regime. But make sure it's something that you can realistically keep up with, Scorpios, and not some fad that you will quit in 2 weeks. This is also a time where you will find yourself reading the ingredients very carefully behind jars. You'll be very conscious of the kind of food that you're consuming. You'll be very careful of the kind of exercise that you are trying out. However, try and ensure that you're not being too obsessive about being healthy, and even too much of a good thing is a bad thing, and everything in moderation is good, Scorpios. Your daily habits may undergo a change, especially in an attempt to restore order. If some aspect of your life has been out of balance, this is a time that you'll find yourself that that you are making an effort to sort of bring the balance in. Keeping things disorganized and cluttered is not going to be acceptable to you right now in this phase. Scorpios, for some of you, you may adopt a pet, or you may get, maybe a toy or something new for a pet that you have. Pets are absolutely and completely therapeutic during this time. I feel they're therapeutic all the time, but during this time, you will find that there is a healing energy that you're receiving from your pets. Your work environment also is governed by this house, so it's a good time to be improving a certain look, maybe being more organized at work, or also looking, I think, at your work with fresh eyes. It's a good time to be adopting technology. If you have not upskilled yourself, Scorpios, this is the time that you are being asked to upskill yourself as far as technology is concerned in your work. And however, at the same time, don't set your sights so high that it's absolutely unattainable and you end up doing something that you regret during this phase. Sometimes impulsiveness can also come with this aspect, and you may just find yourself quitting your job on a whim, or doing things quite out of norm. So keep in mind that the changes that you're making have to be gradual, have to be positive, and you have thought about them in advance. On the 22nd, we have Sun, that is bringing the party to your house of marriage. This is also the house of your business partnership. And with Sun being over here in this house, your focus is going to be on other people and relationships. And it's going to be less about you. It's going to be more about them. You're going to be focusing on working on being a better partner. And you're going to be feeling better when you are with someone on a one-on-one setting. You can have a hard time doing things, especially if you're in a crowd during this time. and you would want improvements to be there, especially for those of you who are married. I think this is speaks more about your business partnerships, and it also speaks about a deeply committed relationship, I would say pretty much akin to a marriage. And you would want your relationships to be more committed and sort of improve. For a lot of you, you're going to be coming across as charming and mediating, and you could make compromises happen between your couple friends. And you could also be quite worried about balance this month, Scorpios, and you could, be ensuring that if you've been spending a lot of time at work, that you spend the equal enough of time at home, and or maybe pursuing your hobbies, and vice versa. On the 22nd, we have Mercury, which goes retrograde till about 15th of May in this house of relationship. Now, I am going to be attaching a video of Mercury retrograde, and you can go and watch it if you want to know exactly what happens when Mercury goes retrograde. But because this retrograde is going to be governing your relationships, and specifically from 22nd of April to the 15th of May, not a good time to be getting married, not a good time to be starting a new relationship, not a good time to be buying anything expensive as far as electronics are concerned. Good time to be revising, good time to be looking at the lessons that you have learned from your relationship and imbibing them. Or understanding them as to, so that you do not make the same mistakes in your relationship. Good time to be researching on things which, especially a business collaboration, on business partnerships, on what worked, what did not work. Good time to be re-looking at contracts and reading the fine print carefully and seeing as to, how is it that it can benefit you. Fabulous time to be working on yourself, fabulous time to be working on your own emotional triggers, fabulous time to be looking also at your parents' marriage, at your grandparents' marriage, and understanding and taking lessons and taking a cue from there, and also maybe looking at maybe there's some fear patterns, maybe there is some amount of risk, or maybe there is some amount of pain or trauma that is there in the relationship, and that's for you to understand and see that you are not embracing or imbibing or replicating that in your relationships. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Scorpios. I'll see you again soon, and thank you so much.